Let us chant this mantra and start a discussion on the Panchama Veda, the Gospel. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriditam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. In the last class we were studying the Sri RamaKrishna. He is discussing about the manifestation of God in human form. So the greatest manifestation of God is through his incarnations. The devotee should worship and serve an incarnation of God. So this is the way he is giving an idea how to understand God. This idea of God is totally different, completely different than usually, normally we think. That is the problem. Though whenever I think about anything in this world, whatever may be the subtlest of the subtle thing in this world, we have some option. There is a time, space and causation. But when you think about God, there is no such option. How to develop faith? How to understand the subtlety of God? So the God comes in the form of human being. And he comes and manifests as an avatar, incarnation of God. We are all manifested from God. But there is a difference. So that is exactly what Sri RamaKrishna is mentioning when he is speaking about the God. And to make it that the vastness of the knowledge, in the last time we read 354th page, it is said like sages like Dattatreya and Jadabharata did not return to the relative plane after having the vision of Brahman. He is not mentioning the God, he is mentioning the Brahman, the source, the ultimate. God is much lower concept from the Brahman, and it comes, God himself comes in that form, and then he is creating, he is sustaining, he is destroying. All these actions are possible when he is coming little down and having three gunas, etc. All that we have discussed, and maybe we will discuss in future again and again. But here, to make us understand how difficult it is to really understand the Brahman, he said these are the sages. Even after the realization of the Brahman, the source, they could not come back to this normal life. According to some people, Shukadeva tasted only a drop of that ocean of Brahman consciousness. Here he is mentioning Brahman consciousness. That Brahman consciousness, Chit, that is a different thing. But the Brahman consciousness, it is unthinkable, and now in present condition. So to make it easy for the ordinary people, that same consciousness taking the human form. Here he says, there was an infinite field beyond the high wall. He gives an example. 4 friends tried to find out what was beyond the wall. 3 of them, one after other, climbed the wall, saw the field, burst into loud laughter and dropped to the other side. It was so joyful thing, so attractive. So they climbed, they saw, they forget at the back, others are waiting. They jumped into that joyfulness. These three could not give any information about the field. Only the fourth man came back and told people about it. It needs tremendous control and unselfishness. When we are reaching over there to the God, it is so attractive and joyful. Even sometimes we sing the song of God together and we dance in the name of God, or we sometimes see the movie of the great personalities. We are moved so much by that. But when we see the real happiness of God, what really happens to them? So only the fourth man came back. He is like those who retain their bodies even after attaining Brahma-jnana. So those who retain their body means eye consciousness, and it is so difficult because after reaching over there, it is impossible to remember that this consciousness, this body consciousness and the consciousness of the others, absolutely it becomes near. So why I am telling this? Just to have a glimpse, an idea about that absolute joy. But these people, they come back. Come back why? Because of the love. In order to teach others, that is the love. They love others. They are coming back. Why? Not for themselves. They are coming back for the benefit of others. After that great joy, after the great knowledge, they could mix into that. But instead they are coming back and they are telling others, there is something over there. If you follow this path, then you can see. Then Sri RamaKrishna commenting, divine incarnations belong to this class. This class means the fourth person who could retain his own personality even after seeing, even after enjoying, even after feeling, realizing the oneness of bliss. He still thought, I must have to go and help others. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, to give the definition of God, unselfishness is God. What is God? Unselfishness. The moment one can become completely unselfish, we become God. We think of God in a different way, but this is the ultimate thing, the unconscious, completely unselfishness. This is. Then he was telling all this, then ultimately it came over here. He said, so the greatest manifestation of God is through his incarnations. The greatest manifestation of God is through his incarnation. Why? Because they could retain their own personalities when everything is melting. There they were retaining their own personality, coming back and telling others. The tremendous love for others, feeling for others. And that is why when Swami Vivekananda is telling, promising in this way, when there will be a one dog unfed, I will come back. Can you imagine the way they are thinking? That is the tremendous love, tremendous concern. So the incarnation. So the greatest manifestation of God is through his incarnations. The devotee should worship and serve an incarnation of God. Then he said, not all by any means can recognize an incarnation of God, assuming a human body. This is what Sri RamaKrishna is mentioning here. Long back, Sri Krishna also said like that. And very peculiarly, you will find that if a good person is here, it's very difficult to recognize him. But some other people, and wonderfully they can put things and people will go to him. But in reality, he is not good. In the name of God, in the name of spirituality, and as because he can manipulate, he can put the word thing in the beautiful words in such a way they can attract, people will go to him. They are so clever, each and every one of us are so clever. When you go to market to purchase anything, we always first we try to get the branded thing and we are sure that this will be good, and then otherwise we judge and then only we accept. Like that everything we do before getting anything. But when we talk about God, realization of God, accepting a path, then somehow we become very childlike. And we accept those people who could really sing and dance and impress you. That is the thing. And that's why Shankaracharya in the Vivek Chudamani, almost beginning, one or two sloka, he is telling is very difficult three things. Manushyatva, Mumukshutva, and the third is Mahapurusha Samusraya. The company of the Mahapurusha, by the grace of God only one can have. And that is the reason it is really very, very difficult. So many people, hundreds and thousands of them, they are coming, they are reading, they are hearing, but they are not taking it into their mind. They always go for those type of talks and then they spend their time over there. Ultimately, they cannot reach anywhere. And that's why Sri RamaKrishna is constantly searching for those genuine souls and guiding them. Abhojananti mam mudha manushim tanumasritam. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, it's very difficult, mudha, those who are deluded in many things. Some people go to that church or temple or to go to listen to that person where many people are going. Just because, he is so popular, there must be. So they go only in that way, without understanding what religion, why this, that. Why I am telling this? Because Sri RamaKrishna, Sri Krishna, all they are giving the caution that this is the ultimate path, ultimate step that we take in our life. And we go over there, we spend some time, we try to understand, then we jungle up, then we come back frustrated. Completely wastage of time. And we can try many other things, but in the spiritual life, how many times you will try? It's the complete wastage of your energy. Very, very sincerely, we have to think, why should we accept this and why should we not accept that? So that is the reason in Bhagavad Gita 3000 years before, Sri Krishna, he said, Abhojananti mam mudha manushim tanumasritam. When the God in the human form I have come, but the mudha, those who are deluded, they cannot recognize me. Now we are worshipping Sri Krishna. Now because so many great souls they have come and they have expressed, explained that this is God. So now we can understand to some extent and go. That too just out of popularity. Oh, there are so many songs are there, Meera bhajans, this, that, then we go. But we do not know actually what is Krishna. But when we go, when we learn, when we hear, when we practice, slowly, slowly love for Lord Krishna comes. In this coming Sunday, we will be discussing about Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Because the Janmashtami, exact tithi, the date will be on Monday, America, Monday. But in Monday we won't get any people, so we will celebrate it in the Sunday morning, 11 to 12. So we'll be discussing about Sri Krishna and singing bhajan about him, etc., etc. And he came anugrahaya bhutanam manushim deho asritam. He came in the human form. Why? Because again, anugrahaya, the story that Sri RamaKrishna said, the fourth person, he came back, restraining his tremendous joy that was waiting over there. He came back. Why anugrahaya? Just to have the love for the people, for the others. They have not heard about it. And we have found out, it's not that only we should enjoy. Let me go and tell other people also. And this is unselfishness. And he said ultimately, manmana bhava madbhakta madjaji mam namashkuru. You become my devotee. Why? I am God myself. Manmana bhava madbhakta. You think about me, become devoted to me. Sri RamaKrishna said that devotee should worship. So this is the reason he said the incarnation goes into that class. So greatest manifestation of God through his incarnation, and devotees should worship and serve an incarnation of God as long as he lives. Then otherwise it is impossible, you won't be able to understand. Then I find that he is going on talking about and expressing the love, to love an incarnation of God, that is enough. That was the topic that I mentioned. To love an incarnation of God, that is enough. What ecstatic love the gopis had for Krishna. Here he mentioned the Krishna as an incarnation of God. When the incarnation of God, there are different incarnations, the conception of the Hindus, a different type of incarnation of the manifested. Incarnation means manifestation. So in the beginning, how it was and slowly coming down and ultimately, but afterwards, we may, when we get a chance, we will discuss how the things they changed. So the Vishnu was the main god, then afterward, in September I will give a retreat on these. I will be discussing about, in thorough, we will discuss about how things changed. Because in the passage of time, the thinking changes. So it was Vishnu, and Rama and Krishna was incarnation of Vishnu. Afterwards the popularity of Krishna became so much, they started telling in the Bhagavata, Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. But here Sri RamaKrishna is mentioning, to love an incarnation of God, that is enough. Then as an example he is mentioning, what ecstatic love the gopis had for Krishna. If you go to Vrindavan, they always talk about the Krishna and Radha. The whole city, all the time, going on chanting the name of Krishna and Radha. They say, I have not tested, 24 hours non-stop there will be kirtan. Kirtan means the song of the Krishna. Somebody or other, someone or other, here and there, going on. If you go in parikrama, there are small parikrama and bigger parikrama. That means the long route and all the small route in that city you are going. Why? Because there the God lived. He played. He stayed over there. So naturally when you are moving, you are not just walking. You are remembering those things. This is the place where he did this. That is the place where he was. So it goes on in this way. Ayodhya, when a person goes, he thinks about the Sri Ramachandra. And when he is thinking about the Ramachandra, at the same time he is thinking about all those things that he has done. So this way, slowly, you are remembering only God and nothing else. So this is the way. I was reading, different type of messages all the time coming. Nowadays, on the smartphone, you can stop it. People will be going on sending different type of messages, but sometimes these are many very good. The one lady came and she was complaining to this the pujari, the priest of the temple. Sir, I love to come over here, but now I am thinking that I should not come. Then the pujari, the priest, asked, "Why, madam? What happened?" See, the people, they come over here and then they will be posing and taking the photo. They will be talking about many other things. They are singing the bhajan. They are not concentrating quietly. It's so disturbing, this temple. So I am thinking I should go somewhere else, or I will be in my room. Quietly I will think about God. Then the pujari said, "Give me a chance. Come tomorrow. At least for one day." So tomorrow she came. Then the pujari gave her a full glass full of water. "I am going to offer this to God. Can you please carry this water without spilling even a drop around this temple and come back and give it to me? I will offer to God." And she very seriously held that glass and she went around and came back and gave it to the pujari. And the pujari asked, "Ma'am, you are sure that there is not a single drop?" "Oh no, I am sure. I was completely concentrated." "Oh, very good. And now when you are walking, did you notice that people were talking about something else instead of God that disturbed you?" "No, I didn't, because my concentration was in that water. You told that you were going to offer it to God, but I should not spill even a drop. So naturally, whole concentration on that water." "Did you see the people who were snapping, taking photos?" "No, I didn't notice that." That way, whenever you come to the shrine, to the temple, just look at God and don't bother about others. So you will find the peace, you will find that loneliness. So that is your mind, that is the concentration. When I was reading the story, I was remembering one Swamiji with whom we are for a long time in Advaita Ashram in our formative years. And he used to tell about one of our President Swamiji. He was sick, he was admitted in a hospital, our own hospital, in Shiva Pratishan. Just behind that and below, there is a place. All the poor people, they leave, mostly the rickshaw puller and all that. And in the midnight also they will be shouting, fighting and using the abusive languages. It is very, very difficult. It is not like America, calm and quiet everywhere. This the whole night, the whole city is alive. It's so difficult. So naturally this young man, one day he told President Swamiji, that senior Swamiji, it is so difficult even to sleep in the night. Whole day disturbances, but anyway, that we can manage. But in the night also we cannot take sleep for 4 or 5 hours. So much of disturbances. I think it is better for us to go back to Belur Math, even for your health's sake. Then the Swami told, "Do you hear all those things?" "But I never heard. I concentrate on God and I never listen, I never hear anything anywhere." So that is the thing, the concentration. When we concentrate on God, what happens? All the qualities of God comes. So incarnation, they come, they do so many things. And they come and they do, they perform, they say according to that particular time and the people. And then it goes to eternity. So that is the reason, that is the way Sri RamaKrishna is telling what was the love that you must take. The love, ecstatic love the gopis had for Krishna. They used to forget their own bodies. They are ladies. All those things they forgot. They used to run only to listen. Sometimes some people, they depict a wrong picture about it. This is wrong. As because it is love, so some people depicted that the lady and the woman and the man, but it's not man, woman. It's the love for God. And the love for God forgets the body consciousness. And when you are not having the body consciousness, then what? What is the human, the male body or female body? It's nothing like that. So that we should understand. Sri Ramakrishna went into that mood and he was singing, "O Krishna, you are the soul of my soul." I cannot think of anything else. In the Ramayana, we find the Hanuman. This all mythological way, the story they gives. Hanumana, he is opening up his chest, and people saw it is only Sri Rama and nothing else. Allegorically, through story form, they are mentioning that Hanumana was not having any other personalities except Sri Ramachandra. He thought Ramachandra in each and every moment. So for him, in the whole world, it was nothing but Sri Ramachandra. Krishna also same way. Again, continuing, the master said, when Krishna suddenly disappeared in the act of dancing and playing with the gopis, they were beside themselves with grief. The object of love, that Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. So much of love, so much of devotion. So naturally, when that is out, how people will think? A fish out of water, that is the explanation, the way they give. And if you put a fish on the floor, you will find maybe it's a very costly carpet is there, but the fish will jump and it long for the water. And similarly, a devotee, even if you put him in the white house, even then it will jump like that fish. I like to go back to that seclusion where I can take the name of God. I can love God, I can sing for God. So that is the love for God. Krishna Mayata. They started seeing themselves, each and every one. They started feeling that I am the Krishna. And they started looking at the tree and they said to the trees, "O tree, you must be a great hermit. You must have seen Krishna. Otherwise, why do you stand there motionless as if absorbed in samadhi?" So this is how they saw everything is nothing but the manifestation of the same God. When they saw the tree, they thought it must be a hermit, must be a sage, standing over there, motionless, because completely absorbed in Sri Krishna. Looking at earth covered with green grass, they said, "O earth, you must have seen Krishna. Otherwise, why does your hair stand on end?" The grasses they saw and they are thinking in that way. You must have enjoyed the thrill of his touch. Looking at the Madhavi Kripa, they said, "O Madhavi, give us back our Madhava." The gopis were intoxicated with ecstatic love for Krishna. Akrura came to the Vrindavan to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. When they mounted the chariot, the gopis clung to the wheels. They would not let the chariot move. Saying these, Sri Ramakrishna sang, assuming the attitude of Akrura. Akrura, he was driving the chariot. So he wanted to take Krishna away, Krishna and Balaram, his brother. And the gopis, all the devotees, they came and they were stopping by clutching at the wheel. Then he sang, hold not the chariot's wheel. Is it the wheels that make it move? Don't you understand that without the will of God, nothing moves? If the Krishna says no, do you think I have any power to take him anywhere? So, dhorona dhorona ratha chakra. Ratha ki chakre chale. Chakra means the will. Please don't hold the will. Dhorona dhorona. Don't hold it. Do you think the will is moving out of his own? No. But the mover of his will is Krishna, by whose will the worlds are moved. It's a beautiful song. Some of the singers, they sing in a wonderful way. Is it the will that makes it move? Sri RamaKrishna again repeating, by whose will the worlds are moved. The driver moves the chariot at his master's bidding. I feel deeply touched by these lines. Sri RamaKrishna is telling like that. See, if we look at our life, where we were born, where we grew up, what was the family, what was all our neighborhood, our friends, our teachers, our school, our college, and all these things. And then we are going on moving from here and there, developing friendship with others, developing relationship and everything in different places. If you think quietly, as if someone is putting us in this way, we are just acting in that. Suddenly a thought came, I saw an opportunity, I tried to get that, I got that, again, we are all moving. If we think in this way, it develops the faith in God. There is God. He is moving everything. Why should I have to think then? Whatever have I done, naturally I have to suffer or I have to enjoy. I am bound. But now that, by the grace of God, I have come to know about these, the secret of work, I must be very, very careful. And that way I must try. Sometimes some people, they come and lament, oh Swamiji, these and these. I told, think of it. There are so many babies, even after birth, they are dying. Their parents cannot take care. Or the situations is so different. They die. But we were protected. We got a beautiful parents. They protected us. We got a wonderful family. They were all helping us. Now, slowly, you people have come to America. It's not so easy to come to America. Millions of people who are there just dreaming to come over here. You came here, you got the opportunity. Even then you are not happy. What else will make you happy then? And whatever the other things have happened. To think of God and pray to God, I must have done something wrong in my past. Now that I have come to you, I have understood you, I pray to you, please help me, please help me, please help me. Each and every moment I should remember you. Make that situation. Make my mind in that way so that I can only remember you. And before my last breath, before my death, I can see you, I can talk to you, I can realize you, I can understand you. Why not? In this life I should do. Because I am you. I am your child, I am your son, I am your daughter. I have every right to see the face of my father, my mother. Why not? One of the great Swamis of the RamaKrishna mission used to serve Ma Sharadamani Devi. And you know, in those days our ladies used to cover their faces. Even today, if you go to the villages, particularly North India, they'll be covering their faces. They won't allow to. So he used to go, he used to see only the feet of the mother, the holy feet. Then he didn't say anything right there. When he used to come back, he used to say in such a way so the mother can listen, mother can hear. Am I her Bhashur? Bhashur means the elder brother of the husband. So usually the ladies will never show their face to him out of respect. Do you think I am her Vasu that she is not showing her face to me, I am her son. Even then the mother didn't allow. But just before the last day, when she knew that she will be closing and go back to their own abode, she showed the face to that son. So that is the way, if we pray, we'll surely see. And a very ordinary person, never meditated, never took any mantra or read the Holy Scripture. He was a scavenger in that temple garden. Even then he had a great faith in Sri RamaKrishna. Devotees should serve the incarnation of God. Sri RamaKrishna is telling that man, I don't know whether he heard this or not, but out of his birth, he was so devoted. He started believing Sri RamaKrishna. And it's so difficult really to understand a person as a holy man, a great personality, when we are living in his company. The contemporary people, it is very difficult because we always see that ordinary things in him. Oh, he is eating, he is sleeping, he is laughing, he is going there, doing this, all that we do there, he is doing. He cannot be a very holy man or special person. That we think in that way. But that man, he thought, no, one day when he found Sri RamaKrishna all alone, and he was the Brahmin, he was a pariah, low caste, and he came and he lied down at his feet and said, Sir, won't you save me? Sri RamaKrishna said, what do you want? And he was so clever. He didn't say, give me, my son should get a good job, there should be no poverty. He was in poverty. He used to live in a very ordinary house. But he never cared for those things. He said, before my death, you should come and take me to the heaven where you live. And that really happened. So this is the way it goes. It's not only that we are making, then Sri RamaKrishna, he is singing, Oh Mother, I have no one else to blame. Alas, I sink in the well these very hands have dug. Karma phala. Dosh karo nai go ma. They say in this. You cannot blame anyone. Ami shakhat sholile dube mori shama dosh karo nai go ma. I know you don't, many of you understand Bengali, but it's a beautiful song. The moment you read these words, you feel like singing. I wish you could have these songs by heart. So it's constantly reminding you, be careful, be careful, be careful. Whatever thought you were thinking, that is going and making the follow, the result. Whatever work you are doing, that's also making the result. Everything, your thought and action is accumulating. Be careful. How to discriminate? How to be careful? Whatever you do, Pashyan, Srinnan, Srishan, Jikran, Ashan, Gachan, Sapan, Shashan, Pralapan, Bistrijan, Grinno, Unmishan, Nimishan Napi. In the Bhagavad Gita, whole thing, not a single thing he has left. Krishna, he is telling, even the blinking of your eyes and whatever you do, offer to me. So in that way, it is not that according to the list we should do. That means every time, whatever we do, we should offer to God. Now we are reading the book. After that, we always say, Arpanamastu, Arpan, I am giving it to you. Because when we are reading a holy book, obviously some good result will come. I don't like to give that also. I like to give that to you all. But sometimes I am making some mistake. That also please take and forgive me. So I am not taking anything. Then you want what? You. Sri RamaKrishna again, he is telling a story. A man has a beautiful bucket full of water. And he was sitting outside the village. And the people were going over there with their clothings, and he was asking, make this a green. He was dipping in that and giving the green one. Make my cloth red. He was making red. But the just plain water. He was showing all these miracles. One person was sitting quietly observing. Then when everyone satisfied went back, and the magician turned to him and said, what do you want? Then he said, give me that color by which you have colored yourself. That is the power of creating those things. So if we want God, these and that small thing, He will give obviously. But why not ask God Himself? Then everything is over. A beggar came to Shamrat Akbar Vatsa. There's a story. And that time he was praying to Allah, the God. And the beggar was sitting over there and waiting when he will finish his prayer, he will then ask. Then he heard that Shamrat, he is the king of kings. He was begging to God, oh God, give me blessings so that I can win that war, I can capture that person, I can administer a good way, I can have this much of wealth so that I can maintain. So he was going on begging one after another all the list. So the beggar got up and he was going away. By that time almost the Vatsa, the king, he finished his prayer and he said, hey, you came here to ask for something, why you are not asking? Why you are going away? Wait, I am coming. Then he said, sir, I don't beg from a beggar. Oh my God, what you say? You are also begging to God. So I have understood that the God is the highest who can give. So there is a Hindi song, Data Ek Ram. So the beautiful song is there. The Data, the giver, is only Rama. Why you are asking this man and that man? It's better to go and pray to God. And Sri RamaKrishna promised the avatar of the present day. He promised the manifestation of God in Sri RamaKrishna form promised. God listened to everything. Only one thing is necessary, complete faith. And second, tears. With a prayerful heart, crying, if you can pray, your prayer will be surely accepted. And he is telling us, even the Nangta, his guru, the Vedantin, and he was a man of profound knowledge. The song moved him to tears, though he didn't understand its meaning. Look at the same song. The same song, Dosh Karo Nai Go Ma, oh mother, I cannot blame anyone. It is my fault only. So when Sri Ramakrishna was singing in Bengali, his guru, Advaitin guru, who was from the UP, so naturally he couldn't understand the Bengali, but he could feel the sense and the meaning of that song in this way. So he started crying, moved him to tears, though he didn't understand the meaning. Padma Lochan also wept when I sang the songs of Ram Prasad about the Divine Mother. They were great scholars. They used to debate about in the Vedanta, but the heart was so soft. The moment they used to hear about this, they used to cry. The Sri Ramakrishna, referring to certain place, someone said to me, nobody sings the name of God there. Now you see a different picture. We see God in the Incarnation. We see God in the temples and churches and mosques. We see God in different holy places. Now, someone has come and he is complaining like this. Nobody sings the name of God there. Sri Ramakrishna was talking about the song, he said. It is no holy atmosphere, he complained. No sooner did he say this than I perceived that it was God alone who had become all living beings. A devotee, a personal God, that is the relation. But the moment he said, those people are not that way holy or devoted, immediately his mind went into that Advaitin condition and he saw that God has also become those people. So don't blame others, don't criticize others. Whatever they are doing is the will of God. Let them do in their own way. You think about yourself only. In the spiritual life, that is also a great selfishness. I have to think about myself. So what I am doing, or look at that boy, he's not doing, look at that man, he's not doing. You need not to bother about that. That's God's will, everything is going on. No sooner did he say that this, than I perceived that it was God alone who had become all living beings. Again I perceived that living beings are like different flowers with various layers of petals. They are also revealed to me as bubbles, some big, some small. This is the Sri RamaKrishna. This is the speciality of Sri RamaKrishna. This time the God has come as Sri RamaKrishna. He is not showing any miracle as such. Like Krishna lifted the hill, Govardhan hill. He didn't do that. The Ramachandra, just by his name, it was written, and the stones were floating on the water. Sri Ramakrishna didn't show anything like that. But he changed the mind of the people, thousands of people. He changed the mind. That is the miracle. And here he said, I find sometimes that living beings are like so many peels made of indivisible consciousness. Once I was on my way to Bardhaman from Kamarpukur. At one place I ran to the meadow to see how living beings are sustained. I saw ants crawling there. It appeared to me that every place was filled with consciousness. Look at it, the Sri Ramakrishna who is to worship the Govinda, who is to worship Kali, who is to worship Sri Ramachandra as completely personal gods and goddesses. That Sri Ramakrishna is finding consciousness everywhere. Sometimes some people, they talk about that this way, even through the devotion we come to that point where I see that ultimate consciousness everywhere, ultimate knowledge of Vedanta, consciousness everywhere. This is proved in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. I have become, I am here, he said. While describing this way the vision of different divine forms, the master went into an ecstatic state and said, I have become, I am here. So that is the ultimate Advaita, I am he. So I am he, who can say? Sometimes some people just like that, he will say, I am he. Anyone he can say like that. But to understand that, you have to go through so much of different processes so that you can understand. Just uttering like a parrot won't do. So Vedanta is the last word. Before that, we have to develop faith in God, the existence of the consciousness who has become God, and then that God has created this universe and the manifestation of the God in different forms. And that's why I was dreaming, I dream that we should have a place where all the religions should be depicted. Because you see the Sri Ramakrishna, never complained against anyone. All paths are leading to the same goal. In the human society, there will be enmity. As because of the politics, as because of the society, as because of the language, as because of the economy, so many other things are there. So obviously, we can never ever imagine if someone is dreaming that day will come when each and every one of us will be friend. I think it is not possible. Because that is already there within us, the enmity will be there, liking, disliking will be there, but not in the name of religion at least. In the name of politics or economy, in sociology and this and that, if we are fighting, okay. But spare the religion. Because particularly the religion, when we are talking about God, thinking about God, and praying to God, how in the name of God we can become so cruel, killing others? So that we must understand. So this is high time. We must understand this. We should not mix, never ever mix religion with politics, religion with economy, religion with something else. The religion is complete the core of human society. If we destroy that, there will be no chance for the human society to survive. Religion is love, the love that manifests in the hearts of the mother and father, the love that is there in the hearts of the friends, in the hearts of the lovers. That love coming together, that complete, total love is nothing but God. How can we complain about it? So this we should understand. And here, so I think its time is up. So Sri RamaKrishna is mentioning about it. And it says that Sa Avatirna Sa Mayaya. Bhagavat is not telling that it is taking the form, taking birth. It never say like that. Avatirna. Consciously coming down. Abha means below. As if he was somewhere above, and that he is coming below. And Sa Avatirna Sa Mayaya. And he is just thinking, putting that Maya on him, and then coming down. We are forced to come. Each and every being that is taking the birth, they are forced to because of the karma phala. Some were good, some were bad, so different type of form, different type of features, different type of lifestyle. That is because of all that. God has nothing to do with all those things. He never did anything. He is not having any karma phala. But why then he is taking the human form? We should not make any mistake that he is also bound by karma. No, nothing. He is coming here only Avatirna Sa Mayaya. In the Bhagavata it says, in the Gopal Tapani, this is another scripture, he is asking a question. Sahi Bhagavan Kutra Tishtati. That God, where he is living. Because when the moment the God, the conception of God is there, then where he is living? Because we live this place, that place. Where he is living. Sa He Bhagavan, that God, Kutra, where? Tishtati, living. And is giving the answer. Same, they are giving the answer. Mohimni Sve. Mohimni Sve. There is a small book, a very nice book about Ma Saradamani, written by one of our Swamiji. So, Sve Mahimne. Sve means that God is living in his own glory. You cannot say that God is here and it is not there. It is not. Everywhere. Sve Mahimne. Mohimni Sve. He is living. If we say he or she or it, as because it is the consciousness living in its own glory, Mahimna. So that Mahimni. In the Shruti, in the Veda, we find Ekam Eva Addityam. Ekam Eva Addityam, having no two. Ekopi san Bahuda yo bhati. Eka api san, even though it is one, Bahuda, in many, bhati. Bhati means we see in that way. Is all the manifestation that we see is not real. That is the Vedantin way of explaining. But the devotees, they say, why not? God is all powerful, why he should not? So when they say, how come the God, that all powerful, all pervading God, coming into one form, is it possible? In reply to that, Sri Loghu Bhagavatamrita, another book, it's not the Bhagavat, it's Sri Loghu Bhagavat Amrit. That's the name of the book. Sri Loghu Bhagavatamrita, it says, if you say like that, then actually you are denying all powerfulness of God. That you cannot do. Tadrishancha bina shaktim. If you are asking how can God take form, that means you are challenging God that he is not having that power to take the form. Tadrishancha bina shaktim na siddhit parameshata. Param Isha, Paramesha. Isha means that God, all pervading God, all powerful God. The moment you say Isha, Ishvara, all powerful, and Param, the higher, above that nothing can be there, and at the same time you are telling God cannot take the form, it is a blasphemy. God take. Otherwise you say God is not having all power. He is having some power. We can make a list that these are the power that God is having. That you are powerful than the God. You are making the list for God. So moment you say, so this is the argument, Ajopi sannavayatma bhutanam ishyaropi san prakritim samadhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. There is, of course, I am coming in my power. So we will be discussing it in our next Sunday when we will be having some talk on the Sri Krishna. But that day, instead of going into that this type of different type of question answer, we will talk about the Krishna, his contribution, and we will be singing the bhajan. So today we can conclude by quoting, just mentioning, not quoting, just mentioning a beautiful letter that was written by Spinoza, a very famous Western philosopher, to his friend Oldenburg. To Oldenburg, the Spinoza is writing. There, Spinoza is mentioning, I can accept Jesus. He's a very good person. But the Son of God, Incarnation of God, it is too much for me to accept. Actually, they are the followers of the path of knowledge. And also in the Brahma Sutra, first sloka, that Sri Bamdev is explaining, same thing he is telling. God cannot take this human form, it is impossible. So this is also present over there. So when you go down in the hall, the Shivananda hall, please look at that photo of Sri Ramakrishna, and below we have quoted one of his great disciples, Swami Vivekananda. He was doubting Sri Ramakrishna, is this man who is on his deathbed, has become so lean and thin, is he God? When the doubt came and he was thinking, now in this condition, if he can say that he is God Avatara, I will accept. He didn't disclose, he was just thinking. Immediately his guru, the great God Sri Ramakrishna, he read the mind of his disciple and said, "Oh Naren, who was that Rama? Who was that Krishna? Now in this body as Sri Ramakrishna." Because avatara means is coming down, is the power of God, which is known as Vishnu. From there, as if the power is coming. Then the second line he said, that is not mentioned over there, but not according to your Vedanta. Why? Because with Vedanta, they look at things in a completely different viewpoint. And that is like the Bhamadeva, that is like the Spinoza in the West. So Sri RamaKrishna mentioned, even at that time, he didn't make any mistake. According to Vedanta, there is no avatara. But according to the devotion, there is avatara. And I am that. Thank you very much. Now let us chant this mantra again and we conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam RamaKrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri RamaKrishna Arpanamastu.